You get the email on a Tuesday morning. Offer letter attached. The position pays 1,900 yen per hour. You read it 3 times to make sure it's real. At 160 hours a month, that's 304,000 yen before tax. After deductions, around 260,000 yen. Your rent is still 92,000 yen. Utilities 18,000 yen. Food 40,000 yen now that you can breathe a little. Transport 15,000 yen. Do the math. You can save close to 95,000 yen a month. For the first time since landing in Japan with 10,000 yen in your pocket, the numbers work in your favor. But something deeper changes. You walk into your old convenience store one last time to resign. The same fluorescent lights, the same background music, the same customers. 6 months ago, this place defined your value. Now it doesn't. Nothing dramatic happens. No applause. No speech. You bow. You thank your manager. You leave. Outside, the city looks the same. The trains still arrive on time. The neon signs still glow. Japan never changed for you. You change for Japan. You move into a slightly better apartment. Still small. Still modest. But it's yours. No thin partitions. No coughing roommate behind paper walls. You buy a real desk. A better chair. Small upgrades. Intentional upgrades. 3 months into the new job, your savings reach 300,000 yen. That's more money than you had in your first 5 months combined. You open your banking app and stare at the number. It's not millions. It's not viral success. It's stability. And stability feels like wealth when you've tasted uncertainty. You walk through Shinjuku again one night. Same bright screens. Same luxury stores. Same 220,000 yen watches behind glass. This time, you don't calculate how many hours they cost. You calculate how many months until you don't need to calculate at all. You realize something important. You didn't make it because Japan became easier. You made it because you stopped being a passive foreigner and became an active builder. At 1,050 yen an hour, you were surviving. At 1,900 yen an hour, you were stabilizing. But the real shift wasn't financial. It was psychological. You stopped seeing yourself as a labor unit. You started seeing yourself as leverage. That's what the title really meant. Believe that you're a foreigner in Japan. You can and you will get it. Believing wasn't positive thinking. It was refusing to let your first wage define your final value. Right now, somewhere in this country, someone is standing with 10,000 yen in their pocket, confused, invisible, calculating rent in hours. Maybe that someone is you. If it is, understand this. Japan will test you with numbers, with silence, with isolation, with polite indifference. But if you increase your value instead of your hours, the math eventually changes. You won't feel the shift in one day or 1 week, but one morning, you'll open your banking app and realize you're no longer surviving. You're building. And that's when you understand. You didn't just get money. You got yourself back. If this story felt familiar, stay with this journey, because the next one might be yours. You sit on the floor and look at the numbers one more time. 120,000 yen income, 92,000 yen rent, 18,000 yen utilities, 35,000 yen food, 12,000 yen transport. It doesn't work. For months, you tried to survive by working more hours. But hours are limited. Your body is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day. If your value stays at 1,050 yen per hour, your life stays capped. That's when it hits you. Japan didn't reduce you to nothing. You reduced yourself to cheap labor. You accepted the first job, the first wage, the first identity offered to you. Foreigner, part-time, replaceable. You thought humility meant endurance. But endurance without growth is just slow decay. You open your notebook. You write one sentence. If I increase my hourly value, I increase my life. You start calculating differently. If you improve your Japanese from basic to business level, you could qualify for roles paying 1,800 yen to 2,200 yen an hour. If you move into translation or remote work, maybe 2,500 yen an hour. At 2,000 yen per hour, working 160 hours a month, that's 320,000 yen before tax. Even after expenses, you could save 100,000 yen monthly. That's the first time the math looks hopeful. So you make a new schedule. Work 8 hours. Study 2 hours. Sleep 6 hours. Repeat. You stop scrolling social media at night. You stop comparing your life to people back home. You replace 90 minutes of scrolling with language drills, vocabulary, listening practice, speaking alone in your room. It feels embarrassing at first. Talking to yourself, repeating phrases, recording your voice. But embarrassment is cheaper than regret. 3 weeks later, you apply for a bilingual support job. You almost don't click submit. Your Japanese still isn't perfect, but you send it anyway. 2 weeks pass. No reply. You keep studying. Another rejection email arrives. Polite, short, standard. For a moment, the old feeling returns. The shrinking, the doubt. But this time, you don't collapse, because something has changed inside you. Before, every rejection felt like proof you didn't belong. Now, it feels like part of the calculation. If 10 applications lead to 1 interview, and 5 interviews lead to 1 offer, then rejection is not failure. It's process. A month later, you get an interview. The role pays 1,900 yen an hour. Contract-based, not guaranteed, but better. During the interview, your voice shakes slightly. You search for words. You make small grammar mistakes. But you don't apologize for existing. You finish the call and calculate. If you get it and work 150 hours monthly, that's 285,000 yen before tax. For the first time since arriving in Japan, your chest feels lighter. You understand something important now. Being a foreigner was never the problem. Being low value was. And value is not fixed. It can be built. Slowly. Quietly. Daily. You whisper the sentence again. You can and you will get it. This time, it doesn't sound like hope. It sounds like strategy. Say next when you're ready for Phase 5, the cinematic exit and final transformation. By month 6, your hourly wage is still 1,050 yen. Nothing changed, except your exhaustion. Then your manager calls you into the back room. Fewer customers. Slower season. Your hours are being reduced from 22 days a month to 16. You nod. You bow. You say you understand. But you don't. 16 days at 8 hours means 128 hours a month. 128 hours times 1,050 yen is 134,400 yen before tax. After deductions, around 120,000 yen. Your rent is still 92,000 yen. Utilities 18,000 yen. Food 35,000 yen. Transport 12,000 yen. Do the math. You're short. For the first time since arriving in Japan, the numbers don't stretch. They snap. You go home and open your banking app, 41,300 yen left. Rent due in 12 days. You calculate again. If you eat only convenience store rice bowls at 120 yen each, 2 per meal, that's 720 yen a day. About 21,600 yen a month. You cut fruit. You cut meat. You cut coffee. You cut everything that tastes like comfort. Still negative. That night, you search for flights back home. One-way ticket, 86,000 yen. You stare at the screen. You don't even have enough money to quit. You're not choosing to stay in the mall. You're stuck. Something shifts inside you. Not loudly. Quietly. You realize Japan doesn't care about your struggle. The trains run on time. The lights stay bright. The stores stay open. Whether you win or fail changes nothing for this country. You walk through Shinjuku after your shift. The buildings glow. Giant screens flash advertisements. Luxury watches. International brands. People spend 15,000 yen on dinner without thinking. That's 14 hours of your life. You look at a watch in a store window. 220,000 yen. That's more than an entire month of full-time work. You calculate automatically now. Everything becomes hours. Your identity compresses into labor units. You are no longer you. You are 1,050 yen per hour. A few days later, another hit comes. Your landlord informs you that the lease renewal fee is due in 2 months. Recontracting cost, 1 month's rent, 92,000 yen. In Japan, you pay to continue staying. You sit on your tatami floor and stare at the wall. The room feels smaller, the air heavier. You think about the title you told yourself when you arrived. Believe that you can and will get it. Right now, that sentence feels like a lie. You consider giving up. Not dramatically, just quietly. You imagine packing your suitcase again, walking through the airport in reverse, telling people, it just didn't work out. But something stops you. Not pride, not ego. Math. If you go home now, you return with zero savings, zero story, zero transformation. 6 months of pain converted into nothing. If you stay, the suffering at least has potential value. That's when the real breaking point happens. You stop asking, can I survive here? And you start asking, how do I increase my value per hour? Because at 1,050 yen, you will drown slowly. At 1,800 yen, maybe you breathe. At 2,500 yen, maybe you live. The next decision you make will decide everything. Say next when you're ready for phase 4, the reflection that changes your strategy. The first job you take pays 1,050 yen an hour. You tell yourself it's temporary, just until something better comes. 8 hours a day, sometimes 9, 22 days a month. That's about 184,800 yen before taxes. After deductions, closer to 165,000 yen. Your rent for a small shared apartment is 92,000 yen. Utilities and internet at another 18,000 yen. Food, if you are careful, maybe 35,000 yen. Transportation to work, 12,000 yen. Do the math. You're left with around 8,000 yen to 10,000 yen at the end of the month. About $60. That's not savings. That's survival. You wake up at 6:30 a.m. The room is small. The walls are thin. You hear your roommate coughing through the partition. You brush your teeth in silence. You practice simple Japanese phrases in your head before leaving. You rehearse apologies. You rehearse smiles. At work, you bow. You repeat the same phrases hundreds of times. Irashimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. You scan items. You bag items. You become efficient. You stop being a person. You become a function. Customers don't see your degree. They don't see the 3,000 miles you traveled. They see hesitation in your voice. They see the half-second delay when you translate in your head. Once, a customer corrects your pronunciation in front of others. You bow deeper. You apologize. You weren't wrong, but you apologize anyway. That night, you calculate again. If you work overtime, 10 hours a day, you could push your monthly income to 210,000 yen. But your body starts to hurt. Your feet burn. Your back tightens. You come home too tired to study Japanese, too tired to improve, so you stay stuck at 1,050 yen an hour. Weeks pass, then months. Your friends back home ask, how's Japan? You send photos of neon lights and vending machines. You don't send screenshots of your bank balance, 23,400 yen, 17,800 yen, 9,200 yen before payday. One unexpected expense hits. Health insurance adjustment. 14,000 yen due. Your savings disappear. You feel the panic in your chest. You realize you are one accident away from collapse. You begin to notice something deeper. In your home country, you had an identity. Here, you have a role. Foreigner staff. Part-time worker. Visa holder. You measure your worth in hours. If you miss one shift, you lose 8,400 yen. If you get sick for 3 days, that's 25,000 yen gone. Every cough becomes a financial threat. You stop thinking in dreams. You think in hourly blocks. How many hours equal rent? About 88 hours. How many hours equal food? 33 hours. Your life becomes a pie chart of survival. And loneliness starts to settle in. Your co-workers are polite. Always polite. But they don't invite you out. Not because they hate you. Because you are temporary. You are not rooted here. You are a passing worker. On your days off, you walk through the city alone. You see couples laughing in cafes. Office workers in suits. Students in groups. Everyone belongs to something. You belong to your shift schedule. At night, you lie down and scroll through social media. Weddings, promotions, new cars, people your age moving forward. You calculate your own progress. After 3 months in Japan, you've saved 30,000 yen, about $200. 3 months for $200. You whisper it again, but this time it feels fragile. You can and you will get it. But a quiet question forms underneath. What if you can't? What if Japan doesn't break you all at once, but slowly, in small, polite, calculated amounts? You don't quit. Not yet, but the erosion has started, and you can feel it. Say next when you're ready for phase 3, the breaking point. What if the only thing standing between you and success is a moment you accept that you are a foreigner in Japan? POV, you're a foreigner in Japan. You believe you can and will get it. Right now, you have 10,000 yen in your pocket. That's about $70. That's all. The air smells like rain and metal. Neon lights flicker above you. You can't read half the signs. The announcements blur into sounds you don't understand. People move fast. You move slow. You don't belong here. Not yet. You check your phone. The cheapest capsule bed you found is 4,500 yen per night. The train from the airport already cost you 3,000 yen. Do the math. After tonight, you have 2,500 yen left. That's less than 2 days of survival in one of the most expensive cities in the world. Back home, you were someone, a graduate, a son, a friend, maybe even respected. Hey, you are just a passport, just an accent, just a foreigner trying to decode a vending machine. You tell yourself it's temporary, but temporary has a price. Rent for a tiny shared apartment in Tokyo averages 90,000 yen a month. Utilities and food, another 50,000 yen. Even if you find a job paying 1,100 yen an hour, working 8 hours a day, 22 days a month, that's about 193,600 yen before taxes. After expenses, maybe 40,000 yen left, about $260. That's your margin for error. One mistake and you're done. This is the part nobody posts about. The silence, the waiting, the feeling of being reduced from a person to a calculation. You start to understand something uncomfortable. In Japan, you are not your dreams. You are your visa status. You are your language level. You are your hourly rate. And still, you whisper it. You can and you will get it. Not because it's easy, not because you're confident, but because the alternative is going back home with nothing but a story about how you almost tried. Right now, you feel small, invisible, replaceable. But over the next 30 minutes, you're going to see exactly what happens when a foreigner with 10,000 yen, no connections, and broken Japanese decides to stay. And why believing you can and will get it is not motivation, it's survival. If you stay with this story, you'll understand the real cost of starting over in Japan, and what it actually takes to win. Say next when you're ready to enter phase 2.